Hi guys, welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm Alex Whiteley. Today we've got a very exciting show for you. We're going to be talking about an event that's catching the imagination of a lot of people I've spoken to, both on the show and off the show. Friends of the show, friends of just mine. It's really growing, gathering a bit of traction. Today we're going to be talking about the Shropshire Music Awards, which I've seen so much about. The reach of this thing is just huge. The imagery is fine, and I'm really excited about it. And a couple of my friends have been nominated for awards, so that's really, really cool. So today joining us is Tim. Are you like did this come from you? Is this your idea?
Yeah, it's my idea. It's been on a notepad amongst several other ideas for a very long time, to be fair. And I guess COVID helped me kind of put the plan together with that bit of extra time, not going out and whatnot. So I kind of got it together. Well, firstly, really, I'm a musician, so I've been a musician for a very long time. I'm a rapper and lyric writer. I write lyrics for female vocals and stuff as well. But my main thing is rapping, and kind of my experiences as a musician, A, in Shropshire, and B, in the UK, has been varied. I've had various successes, you could say, and a lot of kind of pitfalls and things holding me back, which is why I set up Culturetainment, which is the company that runs the Shropshire Music Awards. I set that up to help musicians through artist development, mentoring, kind of career path stuff. And then we also do workshops on the side. So we do workshops in prisons, we do workshops in schools. That's to do with mental health and music, lyric writing, kind of anything around music, And then thirdly, we put on events as well. So we set up Culturetainment late last year. COVID was still happening and whatnot, so we couldn't really kick anything off. January came, doors started to open, so we thought, time to get the awards, which is kind of phase one of the company, really, amongst other things, or phase one of the big events we want to do.
Well, you certainly struck a chord with a lot of people. See a pun there. See what I did there? Struck a chord.
Yeah.
Alex, my other co-host, Alex Westwood, would be so proud of that. That one's for you, Alex. You've definitely struck a chord. I mean, your imagery alone. I mean, this is just one of the posters I've seen. The logo is fantastic. These imagery bits that you guys have put together, they're just brilliant. I mean, I've been designing logos and stuff for the Biscuit for a long time. I nearly swollen for a long time, and I've never come up with anything that's just as clean and as crisp as that. Who does that for you? Do you do that, or have you got somebody doing that?
No, that was so we. I mean, I wish I could pull up the ones that I make, because I'm not too bad. I've got, over the years, I've made my own CD artwork and stuff. But in comparison, and I sent it to a guy who I know very well. It's Cynical. He's a rapper from Birmingham, actually. And he'll kill me for not remembering the company name he's under now. But he's a sole trader now, doing stuff that he used to do in the industry. And social media marketing and stuff like that was one of his things. So I sent him all my ideas across and said, don't copy any of these, but please just give me something that's eye-catching. And we saw, I mean, there's 4 altogether. I think maybe we haven't released all of them, but that one and the headphones one, definitely 2 of my favourites. It's funny, isn't it? The simple. Well. The vinyl one, yeah.
That's really good, really powerful. It's just perfect imagery because it's simplistic and it's beautiful. I really like it. So, and also as well, you seem to be... you seem to be drawing a lot of attention to. I mean, on your website, I was looking at the categories. You seem to be raising awareness for lots of different genres of music. I mean, like I did an interview a couple of years ago. Wow, gosh. And I didn't realize the hip hop scene in Shrewsbury was as big as it is. And I was like, wow, okay, like there's battles going on, like proper battles and stuff going on, which is fantastic. I love that. But I wasn't aware of it until we talked about it on the Shrewsbury Biscuit. That's why people found out about it. But you're raising awareness for genres of music that people may not be aware there is a background for in Shropshire.
Definitely, yeah. Like I say, that goes back to my experience as a musician, obviously playing the live circuit. Although I play a lot less shows in Shropshire than I do in the rest of the country, to be fair. That is changing now, to be fair, but it was quite difficult to get kind of gigs for rappers for various reasons that'll take another podcast to go into. But those experiences of playing on variety shows and mash-up events, where we did a punk and hip-hop event once, and when I play locally, I'm always there's hundreds and thousands of bands in Telford, so Shropshire, should I say. So like playing Albert Shed, for example, you're always going to see a good band on there pretty much every week. And some of them are well known, I think, on the circuit, and some not so much. And I think that was kind of the idea. I think people celebrate as great as Tom Jones is. For example, Tom Jones came to Telford, was it last year? I can't remember. Brian Adams too. So people love these musicians, and they're great at what they do, and so they should be loved and whatnot. But I just thought, well, if you love this music so much, then why is there such a demand for it? Then, it's on your doorstep too. Very, very great musicians, so.
What I love about what you're doing is there are certain genres of music that are very much kept away from the mainstream music, right? So you throw in the music and you're not going to hear a lot of hard rock. You're not necessarily going to hear a lot of hardcore dance music. And some of the grime music that's come out, you're not going to hear either because it's, too grassroots or too independent. I don't know what the reasons are, but, you are giving people a platform to shine. And that's really important with music because, you could find this award ceremony, what you're doing right now, you could find a big star amongst all these players that you.
Yeah, of course. And I think some of them are worthy of it. Like every nominee, and even beyond the nominees, because the shortlisting was done because it had to be done, but it doesn't mean that the ones that weren't shortlisting weren't great. Like they gave it to a panel of judges all out of Shropshire, and you can't get away from the subjective side of music. There could be someone absolutely amazing that didn't make it because the subjectiveness in the person is, and I picked this, I picked that, and they had criteria that kind of enabled you to pick quality, but I think it has to. People need to be made aware of how good people are. I think not only is there potential stars, there's world class musicians. I've seen. Like I say, I've been gigging for a lot of years, 15 years plus, and I've seen some amazing bands, rappers, singers, and I've seen them in Shropshire exactly the same.
It's all about the venues, I think. The venues in Shropshire are very few and far between, So, I mean, there are some good venues, but they're so sporadic across the county.
Shrewsbury's a bit better than Telford, definitely, for that.
It's catching up. Everywhere's catching up. I mean, there's two Albert Sheds now. The one in Southwark, I don't know what that's like for live music, but it's Albert Shed. Yeah,
it's a brilliant venue. In fact, I'd go as far as to say for live music, it's actually a better layout than the Shrewsbury Shed. But I think I've played gigs in both, several gigs in both, and there's something about playing at the Shrewsbury Shed that we haven't managed to capture yet at the Telford Shed. I don't know if it's a different crowd. I mean, when my first gig back from COVID was Shrewsbury Albert Shed, and albeit it was everyone's first time out of the house, as such, it was absolutely bonkers. It was
that first weekend that everybody was allowed out?
Yeah, it was that first weekend. Yeah,
that weekend I was out.
Absolute carnage. Carnage.
I was with friends who like to bar hop. From one to the other. I like to just sit, have a few drinks, enjoy. If it's like, whatever's going on, just maybe change a couple of times. And they were like, let's go find somewhere else to go. And I was like, you cannot. Everyone's booking in places. Sit down. It was just they moved. And it was a nightmare.
You'd have to get it in, didn't you? You have to touch it that first week out. You're like, every single pub.
We were in the Seven Social. And I was like, that's it. We're not going. And they're like, oh, come on. I was I swore. There you go. That's swore me. The noise that you've been making with this ceremony has been phenomenal. It's reached people like I'm good friends with Bassface. He got nominated. Amazing artist, James. It's really good. He's been on the show before. And he made us a very special mix just for the Shrewsbury Biscuit, which is very good. And you know what? Talking about talent that really good talent that didn't make it for some reason, one reason or other. We interviewed Chase in August the other day, and I just assumed that they were nominated. And I was like, oh yeah, you heard about the Shropshire Awards? And they were like, no. And I was like, oh, okay, sorry.
Chase
Oh,
and
of
August.
course. And
So they're not nominees then, or?
no, they're not been nominated, but they're a fantastic band.
Interesting. I do. I've seen them. To be fair, so in fact, because I've got a lot of music friends myself, I don't know Chase and August personally, but I've seen them perform. I know they're a great band. But I got contacted by a few DJs, but kind of not everyone knew that I was involved with it at the start, which was purposefully done because we wanted it to be its own thing, and not be, oh, it's this guy Tim, it's his event. That's not the case. It's literally more for every other musician than it is for me because I can't win an award. I'm nothing to do with. I'm just organising it, so it's more for them and the people.
Well, you could.
Than it is for me.
The winner is me.
I could, yeah. I could nominate myself for everything. Yeah. Best band on my own. Best 5-piece band, ever. Just me. And they questioned me and they said, "Oh, how'd you get on?" And this was after voting had ended. And I said, to be honest, it's the first year we're never going to reach everyone. No, and if your name wasn't in there, the judges didn't have you to consider. And it's a shame because, like you say, Chase in August, I'm sure there's loads of others that would well be in with a chance of winning, never mind being nominees. And I'm just hoping that it keeps going and next year everyone's aware. We've had our first event. And then and I think that we'll get a much better spread. I also think we probably haven't reached everywhere in Shropshire. I think there's probably loads of bands in Market Drayton that haven't got a Scooby about it, because I'm Telford based. I've got someone Shrewsbury based. And then a lot of judges are all out of Shropshire for obvious reasons.
That's a good test, isn't it? To like, yo, is this send someone a Spotify link. Bam. Listen to this. I want you to choose me 4 out of these 8 bands that I've sent you. And, because they're not local and they may not have heard of the bands, they will choose it just on the music themselves.
Of course. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, that was the idea.
And that's not a diss at Chase and August. They're my friends, by the way. I love them.
No, of course. But
this is the point, though, isn't it? There are so many amazing musicians in Shropshire, you can't get to them all. And once this gains traction, I
think year two, at least everyone will be aware. They'll be looking for it. The socials will hopefully be there, and I think year 3 you will get the best. I can't see why you wouldn't get the best of the best involved every time. Realistically.
So let's go back just a little bit. We're getting really excited. I'm getting really excited about talking nominations and stuff like that, but it's great. This idea you had in COVID, you said it was written down on a notepad. What hoops did you have to jump through to make these ideas come to life? Did you have an idea of who you would speak to, how to get a venue? Is there anybody that's helped you organise this? Any companies you went to sponsor it? How did that happen?
Yeah, so it's a long story really, but basically, I'm quite methodical really in my planning of anything. I've put on a lot of events before, albeit not the scale of this and not with the complexities of this, but I've put on some hip hop nights and battle events and little festivals and stuff. So I've got my approach to that has always been proper project planning, basically with a spreadsheet, list of everything you need to do. And then you just keep opening up and going more and more into the detail until you've got a panic attack worth of information in front of you. Do you know what I mean? And then that's what we did with this. We just brainstormed it for a while. And it kind of came out that we didn't even know where we were going to put it at first. Before Telford, I thought Shrewsbury, because I feel like Shrewsbury's nightlife, Shrewsbury's music life is actually there's more going on. But it came to be that the Oakengates Theatre, or the Place Theatre as it's known now, was a decent venue, and we were speaking to Telford and Wrekin Council from quite early, and haven't really engaged with Shropshire Council yet. We have kind of spoke about it, but Telford and Wrekin have been so supportive. We've kind of just gone down that route for now. Telford and Wrekin definitely been a massive help from the start. Trev, who does from SASS. Yeah,
I love him to bits.
Yeah, he's great guy, and brilliant at what he does. Really enthusiastic about music and Shropshire music as well, he's a great guy to speak to.
I wasn't surprised to see him as one of your sponsors on your website, because whenever I've asked Trev for help, I've been like, "Yo, I need." He's like, "Okay,
he's a great guy, man.
He's
I've known him years through the live circuit again. And I met a funny story actually. I remember I did a gig up Telford, and they asked him to do the sound. It was up in Southwater out on the outdoor bit, and they asked him to do the sound. They said, "Oh, we just need some little PA speakers, nothing major. It's just for the mayor to start talking." And so he set it up and went about his way. And then he said, when I was walking back, I could hear it was Trademark Blud rapping, because that's my stage name, Trademark Blud. And he says, Trademark Blud's the mayor now. That was a funny one. But
we need to get a hashtag, Trademark Blud for mayor as a hashtag. Let's do it. He's got so many amazing stories to tell. I mean, I got him on the podcast just because we started chatting at an event that we were comparing actually with the Biscuit, and we just stood there chatting for ages. So I need to get you on the show, my friend, and we did.
Of course,
he's great. He's great. So
plus you get these as well. So there's Telford College as well. And,
right, really?
JP Audio Visual are getting involved. There are a few that are coming on just now, to be fair, but initially definitely Trev was there from SAS and Telford and Wrekin Council. They were there right from the jump.
Well, if you need the Shrewsbury Biscuit, I know it's going to be in Telford, but if you look, there is a Shropshire flag on my logo. So we do cover things in Shropshire. So if you need any help from us, we can come and get some interviews, whatever you want to do at the award ceremony. We're happy to help. I love this sort of thing. Music is my life, really.
That'd be great. That'd be brilliant. I know we've got set interviews that are happening as soon as the winners come off stage. They go into a room, get interviewed, but that doesn't mean that's more for our visuals to go with the thing. So you're welcome to come and maybe do a more in-depth interview and whatnot.
I could bring. I got so much equipment I can bring, and we can do it. We can do it visually and podcast style, and I can give you the audio to do what you want with it.
Of course, that'd be great.
That'd be really good. Look at this. Romance happening over a podcast. This is what we do. This is what I call making a pod baby. Because you get a podcast together and you make opportunities happen and stuff like that.
That's it. Yeah.
So you make, he's laughing, but it's true. When
I was just thinking, I don't know if I can do with any more kids, to be honest.
Well, this is the best thing about pod babies. They only last a while, as long as the reach goes on social media. Once it's out there, it's out there. So once you've made this idea become reality, you got councils involved, you got sponsors, you found a venue, and you put the idea out there. I mean, it's really hard to wear your heart on a sleeve. I'm putting together my own charity event at the moment, which is just hot. You talk about the Excel spreadsheets and stuff like that. I'm kind of like, yep, doing that right now. I'm nodding away. But you announce this thing. You go, oh, this is this thing, everybody. And what was the feedback like straight away? Was it?
So it was real slow start.
Really?
But I'm used to social media and how it works. I'm used to the corporations kind of their I forgot the word now, but their kind of background systems, the codes they use, the AI
strategies.
They know when you're a business or a person pretty quick, and they know whether you're trying to sell something, market something, or if you're just there to look at pictures of people's dinner. And I think they slowly, probably week in, I think they started reducing the views. So they want you to pay for promotion. It's just the way it is. I'm not even complaining, because it is just the way it is, but I'm just saying I understand it. And so it was a very slow start. And like I say, the big platforms were no help to that for anyone. But I think person for person, that's when it kind of grew, maybe 2-3 months in. Because obviously, like I say, I do the circuits myself, so I know a fair few musicians. So kind of followed them on the social media, and it started gaining traction. I think Instagram was probably the best. I think Instagram tends to be pretty cool still for reach and stuff. And it just, and I still, even now, I still don't think even 50% of the people that need to see it and need to know about it, and this is just musicians, not even fans, know yet, so, but we're still plugging away,
Do you have, I mean, I heard it word of mouth. I didn't see it on social media. I saw James Locke, Fate Based Face, should I say. He shared that he'd been nominated. I was like, oh, what's this then? And then people would coming up to me. Now and again, people would bump into me and be like, oh man, how's the show going? I'm like, yeah, it's going good. And, yeah, I listen in. It's great. Blah, blah, blah. Have you heard about the Shropshire Music Awards? And those two people had come up to me in the same week and mentioned it. And I was like, yeah, I really need to speak to these guys. And that's when I messaged you guys. I was like, yeah, we need to get in touch with you and find out what's going on, because it's creating quite a buzz. And I still feel like, even though we've got these technologies and these algorithms and these things, these machines that, pump out social media and hashtags and whatever, word of mouth is still like up there as one of the best ways to spread things, right?
Agreed. Yeah. And that's the one you can't measure either. It's like, I can only pluck at who actually, as far as brand awareness goes, who knows there's a music awards for Shropshire. I imagine it's way more than, do you know what I mean, than you can even fathom compared to online.
Exactly. I just imagine you walking into a Wetherspoons and going, "Hi, Tim, have you heard about this music awards?" Like, so everybody can hear it. Music awards, you say?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a good one. I'm going to use that one. Brilliant. I knew there was another marketing technique I wasn't using yet. the staged really conversation.
Yo, get a listen to this. Pass the phone over. I like it. When it comes to selecting your categories of music, do you feel like you've spread wide enough, or do you feel like that, because like music can, if you look at any kind of genre of music, you can subcategorize anything and then subcategorize it again. It goes on and on and on and on and on. Could you spread a bit further, or are you happy with your selection?
We definitely could have spread further, and I think we still would have got quality out of it. I think we had 22 on the website. It might still be on the website, actually. I need to take a look at that, because the guy that was doing that is on holiday. So, but I think maybe the original categories are still there. So, and there was 22. So out of the 22, some of them were really thin in the people that have applied. Again, not because they don't exist, but because we didn't get the reach, we didn't get to them in time for them to kind of apply or vote, like best venue, for example. Now, you and I both know there's plenty of venues that, support live music, support local music. You could easily have 10 nominees in that, and you still would be scratching the surface. For Shropshire as well, never mind just the big towns. I mean, there's little towns and, and yeah, best venue didn't make it because I think there was only 2 or 3 that went, and we thought we could put all them 3 in and give it to someone. But are we even picking are we picking enough there? You need something to choose from, something to compare to, So there's definitely scope for. I think next year, like I say, this year I want it to be amazing, want it to be brilliant, but next year everything's got to be bigger and better. And I think it's, considering the position we're in, I think it'd probably be quite easy to do that,
Yeah. I guarantee, I've got a lot of faith in this. I think it's going to be fantastic. Let's talk about how it works then with the voting and the evening itself. How is this all going to run?
So the event itself, we're still planning the kind of inner workings of it. We're hopefully having Paul Shuttleworth as the host from BBC Radio Shropshire, he's a brilliant host. I couldn't think of anyone better, to be fair. So he'll be controlling the night. We'll have various kind of award givers. They do have a name, forgot what it is, but people that are announcing the winners and calling out the nominees, announcing the winner, giving the award. So we'll have various, I think there's 14 awards, so possibly 7 people or 14, depending on what we end up with at the end.
The nominations for the best band are...
Exactly, yeah, there you go. You've got the job, yeah, wicked.
Yes! Oh, man, I've been looking for a new job. I genuinely have, so thank
you. And obviously, an award ceremony on its own would be super boring, so we've got live music in between, hopefully making up maybe 55% of the whole night, so it is really kicking and moving, and you're watching new bands and soaking up new music and things like that, and hopefully Shutsy a crack a joke or two because he is a good host. So I think it'd be a good night. We're going for the kind of he is. We're going for the awards. So half of the venue will be tiered seating going up the back, and then at the front there'll be tabled seating, which is like your traditional award ceremony. So we're going to get a red carpet, have all the red carpet photos with the banner in the background. Yeah, we're going to try and do it so people feel special, which they are, which is what the awards is about. People are special. That's nominees, winners, and people that didn't even vote, that didn't get a chance to come in. And obviously people that listen to the music are special as well. And I think people need to understand that, and we need to kind of shout about it and be like, yeah, it's great when Tom Jones and Bryan Adams come. Of course it is. But Tom Jones and Bryan Adams also live in Shropshire. Do you know what I mean? By different names.
Yeah.
John
Yes,
Jones.
John Jones. And do you know what? I'm so glad someone like you's come along, because, a lot of bands, they not everybody makes a band just to hope to make it big. They make a band because they want to. They want to play music, and they want to do the tours around Shropshire and do the circuits and whatever. But you're giving them a goal. You're giving them something that they could just strive towards. And I think that is. We should never downplay that as a goal, as something like a bit of recognition for going out there and do, because when I was chatting to Jason August last week, I was saying, I don't understand. I as a guy who loves music, and a guy who's occasionally will stand on stage and read things from a card. I don't understand how people can jump around with a guitar, with their fingers, making sure it's all perfect, and whilst they're singing, whilst they're jumping around. I don't understand how that works in someone's mind. So people need recognition for what they do.
Definitely.
Especially when it comes to hip hop as well. There's so much that goes into that. It's got the delivery's got to be perfect. You got to remember your lyrics. You got to keep that flow going. One of my favorite I listened to Harry Mack on YouTube. If you're aware of this guy, is just comes up with random stuff. Like he's fantastic. And I'm wondering how freestyler raps about what people are wearing as he's walking by. I don't understand how that mind blown.
He's amazing. I can freestyle, but not that well. I was better when I was younger. I think it's like it's kind of like if you stop doing it, when I used to do it every day, and for some reason I could just do it. But then when I stopped and got more into writing songs and gigging, I go back to it every now and again. I'm like, man, you definitely lost it, man. But yeah, it is. It's all a skill. It's all a skill, and it's hard. I think if you like, with me being on the hip hop circuit so long, you can definitely see people that are just naturally gifted, people that have worked at it for years and became gifted, and then people that haven't put much effort into it and aren't that good. And I think that's when you see there's actual levels to this, because a lot of people think that rapping's not. I mean, I've been told it's not real music. It's not. Where's the skill involved? And like, you can look at someone who's terrible at it and someone who's great at it, and then all the in between. And I think it's obvious that somewhere there's a development of skill and ability and everything else.
I mean, like, one of my favorite rappers of all time is Nas, right? And he raps to lo-fi music, and you listen to lo-fi and you kind of like, how can someone make something sound charismatic out of this? Because it's so dulcet, so relaxed, so chilled, and yet he's just fantastic with how he delivers that. Not everybody can do that. No way. I'm telling you now, there's no way.
Yeah, he's one of a kind as well, Nas. I mean, phenomenal rapper.
Probably one of Jay-Z is one of the biggest things.
Yeah, I mean that comes on the playlist still, and I'm still like, too much.
Said that, This is I'd love to sit and vibe about music with you all day, Tim. Honestly, we could, but obviously we're running short on time. How can people get involved? Are you still looking for people to help out, volunteers? Is there anything you need that the listeners might be?
Yeah, we're still looking for sponsors of the awards, which that works. We're mainly targeting organisations. Doesn't mean an individual can't, but obviously, so the way that would work is that you'll have Best Rock sponsored by, insert your company name here, and that's they're up. I think there's out of the 14, I think there's 11 left. So a few have gone, and then the other part of the sponsorship is. Basically, we're making like 600 goodie bags because it's a 600 capacity venue, and basically any company or individual or musician, of course, can put their information in, and there's different prices. So for an organisation, it's like 25p a bag, but for a musician, it's like 7 pence a bag, because obviously we're all independent and we don't get paid enough. Do you know what I mean? So so that's that. But that's a way of sponsoring us, obviously, because the funds are coming from it. But that's you're getting something back out of that. You're getting a bit of reach to everyone in the venue, who should all be either musicians or music lovers. So for musical companies and like guitar, repair companies or a singer that wants to get their new Spotify link out on a little card or something. That should technically work very well. You should be reaching the people you need to reach. So they're the two kind of sponsorship opportunities we got. Most other things, we still actually got a slot for a performance on the night, which I've got a lot of people earmarked in. But we're toying with the idea of maybe doing a competition for it to kind of raise a bit more promo around it. So we've got some bands from TCATs who are already working with the college, Telford College, because that's great. I mean, great experience for them. Brand new kind of artists, only been in bands for a year or so, not long out of school. So to get on the stage with great sound and your proper sound engineer and people with lights and stuff. That's a great opportunity for the kids, which is part of what we do as a company. Like, it's what we want to do, So, so there's a few different opportunities about. Yeah, definitely.
There's so many layers of this, of what you're offering people. I'm flabbergasted because I don't understand. Like, you're probably thinking the same thing. You probably were thinking when you planned this. Why has nothing like this existed before in Shropshire?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It doesn't make no sense. Like, I mean, rap is new as a genre globally, but it's even newer in Shropshire. And I've been a rapper here since '07. And there was rappers. We had Dimension FM, the pirate radio station, and there was drum and bass MCs on that when I was a kid. So that. There's been a whole culture of rapping and MCing, and that's never been the most the foremost genre. So when you start thinking about the bands, I mean, I know Riff Master, my mate up the road there, he was in a band in the 70s, and they were in the Shropshire Star back then, and they were kind of on the cusp of doing really well. So you're going before I was born, there's been great bands doing great things, achieving greatness, and there's never been an award, or even if it wasn't an award, it's just a form of recognition. In fact, the only place I'd say it exists is BBC Shropshire Introducing, because they give you that piece of recognition, and they give, they have their ones to watch, and they have a little kind of an awards thing at the end where they say this was the best single of the year. Do you know what I mean? So that's the only place I could say it's ever really existed, for someone to say, do you know what, I've worked hard this year and it's equaled this, like I've got this out of it, someone's recognised me, and we all deserve
fantastic.
it as musicians.
All deserve it, yeah. And a recognition that you might get after winning an award like this might mean, oh my God, they won an award in the whole of Shropshire. Okay, maybe we'll give these guys a chance.
They become award-winning artists, and hopefully on a promotional level that works. It's something you can put in your bio.
And then Tim's going, remember me, right? Remember me.
Yeah.
I put you there. No, the talent put him there.
Exactly,
what do you think is the most prestigious category? Which one are you looking forward to the most? I know you can't really choose. Yeah.
See, now I've got around to it too, because as a rapper, I'm most looking forward to who the judges pick, because I know most of these rappers. In fact, I know all of them. I know all the nominees. I've either performed with them, made songs with them, or at least spoke to them. So I'm looking forward to see who they pick. But I'd say the most prestigious it's got to be the band categories, really. It's got to be the indie. It's got to be, or maybe the best band. So if you take the indie, so maybe best band, because I think that is the most challenging one to win in Shropshire. Do you know what I mean?
I'd say best band and best solo artist. I think they're the two.
Yeah, good shout. Yeah, solo as well, because for exactly the same reasons, that it's so challenging to stand out amongst so many great artists. You've got to be, judges got a tough decision on them too as well. I don't think there's not a bad apple in the bunch. And to be fair, I think there's 84 nominees altogether. I think last time, I'm sure it was 84. And I don't think there's not anyone that doesn't deserve to be there. And there's not anyone that you couldn't put their music on and go, this is good. Whether you like it or not, this is quality music. It might not be my taste, but it's quality music. It's done well, so I think that's a testament to Shropshire. And I think that's only hard, there's hundreds, I think.
I can't wait for this. I'm so excited. I'm all in for this, Tim. I want to be there. Real. I want to be there, and I want
you to be there. I want everyone to be there. Probably 600 people.
If people want to be there, how can they be there, Tim? And when?
So best place to get your tickets from is the theatre website. We do have kind of table seats for the nominees, but they're pretty much gone, so there's no point me even talking about them now. So the tiered seating still remains. Telford Theatre website, and just if you can either search Shropshire Music Awards straight away, or you can go to shropshiremusicawards.co.uk and the link will take you to the Telford Theatre website as well. But I mean, a quick Google search and both our website and Telford Theatre website should come up first. Yeah, and just get your tickets. 12 quid a seat at the moment.
Not bad price.
Going up to 112 quid a seat in a week's time. No, not really.
If prices carry on, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Cost of living.
To sell a watch to get there. So, guys, book the date in your diary, 6th of October, and it's at the Place Theatre in Oakengates. And make sure you get your tickets because it sounds like a fantastic evening. Go and support local music. Honestly, I can't stop smiling about it because I think since I saw, this kind of imagery, the band categories, I've got them all here. We haven't got time to go through them all now, but so I was reading through these and I was like, there are so many amazing acts that are part of this. It's just going to be an amazing event. So make sure you commit to this, guys. You will not regret it. Tim, thank you so much for joining me today. Taking your time out of this amazing hot day today.
Steamer, isn't it? Steamer.
I was swearing at the sun. I was like, "This is so offensive." I was like,
how long are you going to keep this up for? Billions of years.
The sun just screaming at me like Rick and Morty. I've really enjoyed chatting to you. We should, when we hit the outro, just stick behind and I'll give you my number and stuff so we can keep in touch. Sure. And anything you need the Biscuit to help with, we can be there. Before we get out of here, guys, I'm going to tell you about my event that's coming up. I'm very sorry, Tim. On the 29th
Get that plug in, mate.
Yeah, on the 29th of September at 9 a.m, we're going to go live in front of mic and camera for Pod Aid. It's our second year doing it. Last year we raised over £3,000 for Lincoln Davis. This is a 24-hour live podcast event. We're sponsored by, I know it's nuts, absolutely nuts. We're sponsored by Reach. We're going to be at Love to Stay for that whole time. We're raising money for Lincoln Davis, like I said. Web Orchard are our main sponsors. There are so many people getting involved. We're speaking to Planet Donut about organising our own Pod Aid donuts, which is going to be amazing.
Wow.
All the a percentage of the proceeds will go towards Lincoln Davis. Excuse me, we've got amazing guests. We've got one of the most excited. I'm most excited about is Adam and the Metal Hawks. If you're a fan of social media, TikTok, YouTube, you might be aware of them. They're one of the biggest TikTok channels going. Each one of their videos gets like 1.2 million views, and the guy looks like Jack Black, sounds like Jack Black, and they'll sit and they'll put like plastic bowls on their head and use them as drums and play music and sing along, and people love it.
How have I not seen this?
I'll send you the link. It's fantastic. They're coming on. We've got some amazing guests. Every hour for those 24 hours, we've got an amazing guest for you. If you want to get involved, there are spaces like what Tim is trying to do. Something very similar. So every hour we want to have it sponsored by a company. You can get involved by getting in touch with me. We have quite a few left. We are selling them very slowly. We're selling them at £100 at a slot. And for that £100, we'll display your logo on the screen for that whole hour, and we'll give you. We've already had a couple through just today, and I was reading through some of the announcements, and they sounded amazing. So we will read out your company. This hour is brought to you by Tim. He is a rapper. He is a guy that recognizes great music talent, and he's here for you. We'll give you a good readout, and every
Smooth
single
radio
penny goes.
That was.
Oh yeah, switch it on, baby. I can switch it on. Welcome to the show. I just don't. It's just not fair on people. People lose jobs and all sorts. Every single penny goes towards Lincoln Davis. So please get involved. Please join us on the day. And if you've got a few quid, go to Just Giving /Pod Aid 2022 and donate. Right, we're going to get out of here. Tim, I'm so excited. Stick behind when we're doing the outro. I'll give you my number and stuff. But listeners, thank you so much for joining us this week. It's been fantastic. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.